Hey friends, welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of Sassy AF TV. Prioritize yourself, get healthier, make more money, find more love. Do you want to show up bigger in your life than ever before? Do you have big dreams and goals for money, success, and love? This week's guest, Julia Bruck, is an award-winning journalist and health junkie who says we have to demand our own success by putting ourselves first. Talk about a mic drop. Julia and I talk about everything from her life-changing car accident to being told she was the worst journalist to how she uncovered the power of the plate to kick ass in all areas of her life. As Julia says, I plan to show up bigger, and it starts with food and movement. If you are ready to show up bigger, you are going to love this week's episode. Welcome back to another episode of Sassy AF TV. I'm Hallie Avolio, and I'm super excited to have my guest, Julia Bruck, here with us today. Julia,
we were just having a dance party
before we got this started.
She says she likes to have fun when we do this, and I'm like a jazz hands kind of person.
Yeah, jazz hands.
So much good stuff.
I love it. I'm so glad you're here today, Julia. It's been such a fun ride getting to know you over the last couple of months. And I love that you call yourself a health junkie. That just completely resonates with my soul and my spirit. And I feel like I also am a health junkie, and I always have been, but sometimes I don't always know what to do with that. So I'm just really excited to talk to you today and let everybody hear your story. And you have such an interesting story from any of the other guests that I've talked to, coming from journalism and being not only a journalist, but an award-winning journalist.
Amazing.
Yeah. Amazing. And
so
now
I think
a
lot of people think, sorry about that. A lot of people, I think when you kind of get in these conversations in the health world, they think that these people are super skinny and super fit and know everything about every protein.
Right.
That's not me at all. I am just like you. I do call myself a health junkie. I am a fitness instructor. I have been for 15 years. But the way this all came to be was because I was playing in the corporate space and I wanted to win. I was starting out my career and I really had to look at it was hard. I was not good when I started my career. And some days, maybe I question myself even to this day. But that said, we all do, right? But I was really kind of looking at what athletes do to get the competitive edge because I was struggling. And I knew if I was struggling, how was I going to make more money? Really, that's what it came down to, guys. Simple as that. I know people may be like, no, it's about your health. Yeah, sure. There are 3 things that drive people in life: finances, love, and health. So I had 2 going on right there: health and finances. And I wanted to make more money and I wanted to feel my best doing it.
Wait, can I just add to that? By the way, often when you're making more money and you're feeling your healthiest, you're also going to have more love and sex. Am I right?
100%.
Okay.
Because
just
as I fix those things, that's exactly what happened.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's all connected, right? So let's think about this. So when you start to improve, I was really looking at how does my mind work better on the job? And you guys, when I started this journey, I didn't really understand that's what I was doing. But over the past 15 years, I've kind of figured it out. There are 2 key things that happened. One, I started working in my first newsroom and I was told I was the worst reporter that had ever come through the building. Yeah, it was pretty insulting.
It feels good, right?
Yeah. So I was like, whoa, this has got to change. This is my dream to be working as a broadcast journalist. And the second thing happened is I was in a really bad car accident that made lifting this cup impossible without pain.
Wow.
So all those things kind of collided about the same time. And in my journey to heal, where traditional medicine worked a little bit, but not really. And I had to go to the Western medicine side to heal from the pain. And it was all nerve damage. I was also then challenged on a professional level mentally. And so it was kind of okay, where's ground zero to start making changes? And thank goodness I had some Eastern medicine doctors at the time that were kind of showing me and teaching me about the power of what's on your plate. And that was the beginning of the journey. And as I figured out the power of what was on my plate, I started to notice changes in the workplace.
So what does that mean? What is the power on your plate? Can you get into that a little bit?
Yeah. So it's what you put on your plate, right? So we have these plates that every day we can fill up with a meal and we eat, and maybe you just eat like this and you don't even think about it. And you're like, oh, there's a TV, or like you're sitting at your desk like me today, eating at your desk. Well, but when we do that and we're filling ourselves up with not the right things, as I've learned in my journey and the studies show, it impacts everything inside our body.
Mm-hmm.
Our ability for quick reflexes, our ability to handle difficult situations, our ability to deeply connect, our ability to think through critical things, our ability to move. You know, a lot of people think, oh, you worked in front of TV, you do nothing. No, guys, I would like walk 5 miles to carry things and with 20 and 30 pounds on me. So it was interesting to see what happened was as I became obsessed about what was on here, the pain went away here in grabbing the cup.
That's amazing.
And I got better on the job. A year later, I would go on to win Best Reporter in the state at the time. And that was just the beginning. You know, it's been a long, hard journey. I think any career is a long, hard journey. It's a journey of where we get better through every challenge. And sometimes those challenges, though, as you know, are awful to go through.
Absolutely.
And I never thought I would be having these conversations today. Never. As I was like struggling to pick up the phone and not have pain in my hands and my feet and my hips and everything, I would cry to my therapist or I'd maybe get on the phone with my mom afterwards. She asked how therapy was or what was going on. And I just couldn't figure out why this was going on to me in my body from that car accident that happened. And now I understand. It's my burden. It was my journey to learn all these great things to help people like you who are watching actually not have to struggle as much as I did. Because, you know, now what's amazing is there's so many people like you who have this amazing show where you get access to all these great people and you're saving other people time. You're saving them time, money, and pain.
Absolutely.
Right? But by having conversations like this, we get to learn from each other. And I wish I would have had this kind of exposure, conversations, and opportunity to learn that I did 15 years ago when I started my journey because of the car accident.
Where were you at, Julie? You said, you got into this corporate environment, you really wanted to dive in and be the best that you could be, and you're told you are the worst. I mean, that makes you feel pretty shitty, right?
That's an understatement. I was crying. It was awful. You know, you guys can go ahead and Google me. We're going to share about my Instagrams and all that. But like, I'm very proud of the work that I have done. And I'm here to tell you, it was not easy. And it still is not easy to this day. I mean, I work in a very, very high level corporate job still to this day. It's never been easy for me. It has always been a shitload of work.
Do you think if you hadn't gotten into that car accident, you would have gone through the same journey and had the mindset shift? Or do you think because you were kind of forced into needing to rehabilitate your physical body, that you had to start making the shifts, mind, body, spirit?
You know, it's a great question. Actually, nobody's ever asked me that question.
Ooh.
That's a great question. You know, I think you're right. I think, you know, at the time I thought that car accident, and by the way, for about a decade, I thought the car accident was a curse. About 12
I can
years.
imagine.
Yeah, about 12 years, because that's how long I was in therapy, was for 12 years. I thought it was a curse. But what I didn't realize was all the good that has come out of it until I started in the last couple of years in helping others in their health junkie journey, and helping other, you know, working professionals like me or busy mamas like you and you know, like all these things, you don't realize all the lessons you're learning. And because of that crash, I believe, to your point, that it was part of the success that I have seen professionally. Because I was forced to have to reevaluate how I do things, what I put in my body, and how I move.
And I would say that that's the universe's message to you. And one of the purposes that you were put on this earth to share this passion. And of course, having been through a car accident and a traumatic experience is not something that anybody wishes on anyone else. But the fact that you went through it and not only did you survive, but you're thriving in spite of it, that to me shows such sense of character and such sense of determination and passion and purpose that it makes me believe that there's a bigger reason that you specifically went through this particular journey.
Agreed. And I think that one of the biggest things was to learn the power of what's on my plate.
I love that.
And to that point, I want to dig into that a little bit more is, what I started to learn was certain things I ate would impact my brain, and it would make it harder to hit a deadline or harder to think strategically or critically. And, we all look at a diet. I think now the word diet, it's the beginning of a year. People are all about diet. And I really struggle with that it's a negative in our society. I think that if you look at it, if you truly want to be the best version of yourself, and you truly want to have a massive impact in this world. And by the way, I want to make some coin too, just like all of you.
Right.
If all those things can't collide, when all you've been doing is eating fast food because of what we're putting in our bodies, right? Our body physically cannot work at its full potential.
Right.
And I fully believe after my journey, and it's still going on, that a great life starts within.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're putting junk in, then all you're going to do is junk out.
Junk out.
And it's not always in the bathroom, by the way.
100%. Mm-hmm. And I want to keep going a little deeper with that because I love this comparison that you make, and you say this frequently, but in particular, you had a post recently that talked about how you wanted to show up bigger on stages. You're a speaker, you're in journalism, you're in front of audiences, and you wanted to show up bigger. And then your next immediate comment was, I knew I had to change the way that I was eating and moving my body. And I love that connection because often we don't hear that. At least we don't hear that publicly. I don't think that those two are often equated. And I love how that health junkie mission drives your purpose for your professional accolades and your professional success. So can you talk a little bit about how you adopted that mindset and really apply it to all aspects, especially of your professional life?
So look, we are all put on this earth to do something. I don't care where you come from, what color skin you are, but we are here and I believe that that we are all meant to do great things. We just have to figure it out. And sure, everybody's going to have different challenges along the way. But it became very clear to me that if I was to serve more and if I was to build a bigger career and to speak more, to coach more clients, that I needed to be a better version of myself. Mm-hmm. And I needed to refine that even more. And that's something that I've really been working about. And this post is actually pretty recent, you guys. And so it's not a New Year's fad, by the way. It is not. Because I spent 15 years refining it. But I want you to know that, one of the things that I think we forget about is the connection with food and mental health. Mm-hmm. And interestingly enough, I was able to through my journey of having to improve my health from the car accident and performance on the job, I started to realize that I became very aware of how certain foods I eat would really have an impact on my relationships, my inner relationships, with my partner or with friends, and did research into it and learned about how what we eat, what happens in our gut connects up here.
Absolutely.
And, that's why I say, how can you step onto a stage that's even bigger than where you are? Because when you do that, that's going to be a stretch for who you are as a person, right? That's going to require focus. That maybe requires stamina, right? And that maybe requires some grace, kindness, not anger. Maybe you're gonna have to let things roll off your back differently. And all those things are emotions that when we eat things, our food moves into our gut. And data says 75% of our well-being sits in our gut.
Mm-hmm.
And all what happens in our gut connects to the rest of our body. And so that's why I said, I plan this year to show up bigger. And it's starting with not only food and movement. And to the movement point, I learned a long time ago that I have to work out in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
When do you work out?
Oh, 5:45 a.m.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I get up at 4:45.
Yeah, way too early, by the way. Yeah.
I know. But it is but that's when I have to do it.
That's when you have to do it. And one of the things though that I love is that you get up at 5:45. There's a no excuses, right?
Oh yeah.
And man, I recently have dealt with some challenging times, and I wasn't getting up and working out. And let me tell you, I didn't have that fire. I didn't feel like I owned my day. I felt like everybody else owned my day. And if you look at the data, what happens during exercise literally chemically changes your body for a much better reason. And so I'm talking about, like, if you just want a natural high, go work out for 30 minutes. Like that's right. But what happens during that time is, I also think we're in a world where we're always around people and inundated and constantly like messaged, right? Like from wherever we are. And that allows our brain to kind of think through things when we're working out. And there's so much power in that opportunity to have that. And what happens for our spine that comes up into our brain. I went to a workshop, and the data it's so powerful of how it helps rejuvenate and move you forward. And so that's why I realized when I said I need to move more, I had been cheating myself. Right. And some people say, I don't have the money to go to a gym. Well, walking and running, those are free. You can do push-ups in the house. There's a lot of things that you can do.
There's tons of YouTube videos that are free that you can watch, exercise videos of all genres. So again, no excuses, right? It's the no excuses lifestyle.
It's the no excuses. And I also think it's I want better. Right? Not only for me. And, I think a lot of people could argue that we're probably maybe, like, some people might see our conversation as maybe a little selfish because it's all about me, me, me. And I hope everyone hears this really well. If you want to be a better parent, better lover, better employee, start with you.
Amen, sister. Absolutely. I mean, that's my whole mission is to prioritize in-demand women to empower themselves. Why? Because when you are empowered yourself, and you're taking care of yourself and you're prioritizing yourself, like you said, you show up better for everybody else in your life. And that's what's important. Because if you want to be the best you, then you got to take care of you first. It's pretty simple. It's not always easy, right? It's not always easy, but it's simple.
Well, it's just like eating right. It's pretty simple,
right?
But it's not easy. Getting your finances in order.
We're tempted, right?
Right. Getting your finances in order, pretty simple if you look at like what you need to not spend on, but it's not easy.
Exactly.
Getting in a workout 5 days a week, it's pretty simple, but it's not easy.
Right.
And I really believe when I've become obsessed with studying some of the most successful people in business. And one of the things I consistently see is that the body and the mind are top priority. Meaning what they eat, how they move, what kind of, do they take time to pray, or whatever religion connects with them. Do they meditate? Do they find quiet? And do they say no?
That's big.
Right. Because that's another thing too, is that, I think part of my health junkie journey is I learned to say no to a lot of things. No to like going out too late on a Friday night because I had to work out Saturday morning that I wanted to. No I'm not going to have that drink tonight. No, I'm not going to go to that happy hour. I want to go work out, or I don't want to work out. I want to go for a walk, or maybe I want to come home and make a nutritious meal.
Right.
So I have lunch for the next day.
Right.
Right. Or no, maybe I need to go home and actually take 30 minutes and clean up, because our environment, when it's not clean and it's messy, you feel cluttered inside.
Oh, yes.
And so it's all connected.
And it's all about what your priorities are in the moment. And I like to tell people, in fact, I just wrote an article about this on my site, but it's about what your priorities are in the moment. And in the moment, it could be for the month, for the 6 months, for the year, whatever that is. But when your priority is, your physical health, you're going to prioritize eating well and moving your body. If your priority is advancing at work, then you're probably going to put a little bit more time into the work skill set that you need to do, maybe some extra learning or education. When your priority is improving your relationships, maybe you're going to be spending more time directly with your partner or looking for love, right? So whatever your priority is in the moment, that's where you choose to spend your time. And then the other things kind of fall into line accordingly, but they'll shift as, as life changes.
But when I started looking for love, I found that I had to start with me.
Oh, that's good.
And I remember the day.
You had to put yourself first.
I strategically said, it's time to have more fun.
Oh, I love that.
And I chased fun again after a breakup and depression. And I was like, it is time to have more fun. And so more fun meant I better feel good about me.
Oh, I love that.
So that meant worrying about what was on my plate, moving more, being around people that fueled me,
right?
Instead of pulled at me. Saying no, so I had some space to breathe, to meditate, to take care of my spiritual side. And then saying yes when a friend asked me to go do things, I made a pact with myself that said on the weekend, I would say yes to one random invite.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
But I didn't do that. It took a couple weeks because I wanted to get, again, I came back to I wanted to make sure the foundation of me was more fun.
Right.
And becoming more fun means I had to become happier.
Right.
Well, I can't, the studies show certain foods will help you with that or steal that from you.
Right. Well, I love that you just gave so much tactical advice, because I'm all about not just saying the words and not just saying, oh, I'm going to put myself first. Oh, I'm going to prioritize myself. Oh, I'm going to do self-care, but actually taking action. So I love what you're saying about truly taking a deep dive internally. What are you fueling your body with, right? How are you moving your body? How are you giving yourself quiet time and space to process and go through your thoughts? What do you say no to and assess boundaries? And what are you saying yes to? Right? To bring in more love and fun and goodness and sassiness and all that into your life.
And connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, one of the things I also think is so important right now for, you're working to empower in-demand women, this 4-letter word. It's called busy.
Okay. Tell me your take on busy, because I got a take on that too.
It's an excuse.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I say in demand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We make time for what we want.
Yep.
We do not make time for what we don't want. Or we don't make time for things we're afraid of that might stretch us or be uncomfortable.
Right. Well, I'm doing something out of my comfort zone. So I'll just share with you, and it's fun and it's sassy. So tonight I am starting a new class that I got a newsletter from a local dance studio, and they're offering this class. I'm going to tell you what it is, but I saw it and I thought, that is so out of my comfort zone. I'm going to sign up and do it because I want to push myself and have some more fun. And one of my commitments to me this year is to have more fun and to really enjoy life and not just go through the motions. So the class,
pole dancing.
Well, that's my event on Friday. It's a lap dance class.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's going to be so fun. And I am nervous as shit, but It's going to be, and I asked the teacher, by the way, I said, so what do I wear to a lap dance class? By the way, I have no idea if I'm actually giving a lap dance to, I don't know. But I asked her what to wear, and she said, oh, the last time many of the women came in lingerie. And I was like, ooh, I might be doing booty shorts and a sports bra, but I'm going to show up big, I'm ready. I'm ready to bring it and step out of my comfort zone and just have some fun and say yes to me. So.
Well, and that, right. So like, that's a great thing but you've spent so much time working on your health, right? So you feel confident to walk in there. Right. So that's another thing too, in that where your movement, you don't know what you're doing. It could be uncomfortable, but you trust your body enough to be able to move enough for it. Mm-hmm. And that's something else that I realize. And, I just think it's so important if we started to realize this, and I said it to my spin class this weekend, but imagine the possibilities. Imagine the possibilities if we looked at what we had to do or the challenges that came up from a lens of joy or opportunity instead of I have to's or what's wrong. Mm-hmm. And when you start to imagine the possibilities like that, the world gets a lot bigger and full of opportunity. And what I'm learning, and I'm working on this every day, what could be super painful, you're able to unattach from and just say, I get to walk through this. Mm-hmm. And that's really something that I had learned in my 15 years of working to heal. I really have been working on that in my health junkie journey as well.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I was going to ask you a question, but you've already answered it. So I just want to repeat it so that everybody hears this and doesn't miss the message. What I was going to ask you is, in closing, what would be your kind of one piece of tactical advice that the in-demand woman, who's a professional woman, has a lot of things going on in her life that she can do to start to become a health junkie herself? And I think you captured it in its beautiful essence right there, is imagine the possibilities when you look through the lens of joy and opportunity.
Yes. And I would say one other thing is this. Make yourself the most important thing of your day. Mm. And demand it. And I demand that I'm so excited. I have a smoothie. They're called Super Slim Smoothies. You guys are going to get a link to that. But I do that with like my meals. It's always really busy at the office, but I bring these shakes that are super full of nutrition density and awesome. And I always have them. And I demand eating well while being super busy. Mm-hmm. I demand, even though I'm super busy, I take the stairs. Extra movement. Didn't have much time today. Right? I demand that I'm going to set my bedtime and be really kind to myself and do it. Because I feel like women, we always are giving excuses why we have to do it for somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I hope that you guys listen to this. I want to empower you to start to demand better for not only who you are at home, but who you are on the job and who you are as a person. And that starts one meal at a time.
That is so good. And I think everyone can now see why, Julia, you are an award-winning journalist. I mean,
thank you.
That was like the biggest truth bomb that you could have dropped at the end of that. It was beautiful. I love it.
Well,
watches that on repeat.
Yes. And I hope you guys do. Hit me up on the socials. I'm at the Julia Bruck.
Great. Tell us, where can we find you?
At the Julia Bruck on the socials. And then you guys make sure that you hit up those smoothies, the Super Slim Smoothies. They're delicious.
What's your favorite flavor?
I gotta be honest. I'm kind of about the greens. I'm all about green. My favorite is, so it's a vanilla protein that I love, some fiber. spinach, cucumber, lemon, splash of ginger.
I like that.
And it's just so refreshing and clean. And it's got so that all those things are good for the liver and the detox, right?
Right.
And then what I find is when I have that in the morning, I'm very focused.
Yeah.
And man, some of the stuff that could be a real problem, you just let it roll off your back a little easier.
I love it. Well, I'll make sure to put links to all your socials, your super slim smoothies, all the good stuff so everybody can find you. And Julia, I'm just so thrilled that you were here today to share your health junkie wisdom. You are a gem. You have so much wisdom and knowledge, and you've been through a powerful journey. And to share it in such an articulate and empowering way, it means so much to me that you're here. And it's just so much fun to talk to you and get your energy. You have a great vibe. And I know that anybody watching this is going to walk away feeling so much stronger and confident than they were before they started. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. You guys have an amazing day.
Yay. Thanks for watching, everyone. We look forward to seeing you next time on Sassy AF TV, or you can listen to us on our podcast. Have a great day. Bye. I am so pumped right now. Julia's words and tactical approaches to taking care of our overall health and wellness are inspiring me to push even harder. And I love her tip to say yes to at least one fun invitation each week. Talk about being sassy. Thanks again for being here and tuning in for another episode of Sassy AF TV. It would mean the world to me if you would leave a comment and take a screenshot to share it with your tribe on Instagram or Facebook. Don't forget to tag me at Sassy Healthy Fit. Then make sure to head over to sassyhealthy.fit and sign up for our mailing list so you always know the latest and greatest in sassy fun. See you next time.